Welcome back to Bud Light Hog Talk here at District Bar and Grill. Final segment of this week's episode. Thanks again to Adam Clendenning and Andrew Allen joining us earlier in the show. Our final guest today is IceHogs goaltender Carter Hutton. Let's give it up for the fan favorite Carter Hutton. Nice round of applause for Huts. Huts, how you doing?
Good to be here.
Good to have you on the show again. You did it back with Peck earlier in this season. You're the number 2 recycled interview, as Peck likes to call it. Jimmy Hayes got the honor of being the first one to come back.
He's got the gift of gab, so he's pretty good at it.
So you're kind of a pinch hitter as well. This week we were 0 for 3 in assigning candidates, I guess, for the show. It was supposed to be Mo, Lavin, and Teddy originally, and 3 pinch hitters. So you came in for Flick, and we're going to throw up a graphic on the screen here. Martin St. Pierre tweeted out a picture. I don't know if you saw this a little while ago.
I did, yeah.
They are apparently doing a little shopping, so Flick couldn't make it. What's with the pastels there? They're going lime green pants.
Flick needs a little more. He needs a little more color in his life. He's pretty white there, powder. So, and then to brighten up his skin tone.
Are you saying that you tan?
Oh, he needs some sun, that's for sure. I don't tan. At least I got some pigmentation in my skin there.
I guess let's put Rob Flick on the chopping block right now. This style for Rob Flick, obviously lime green pants not working out so well.
No, there's not much working for that kid, right? But he can try his best.
A pretty eventful weekend for the team. 3 games in 3 nights. 2 down in Oklahoma City. You played in one of those, and then come back Sunday. 4 out of 6 points earned for the team. A pretty solid weekend, although you obviously don't want to finish with that loss against the Chicago Wolves.
Yeah, it's especially 3 games on the road. It was definitely a tough weekend, for travel-wise and stuff like that. But that's it's the way this league is, having a 3-3. This time of year we got to take, especially on the road, we got to take as many points as we can. Every night we're looking to at least get a point and get a win. And so for us going to Oklahoma City, a team that we were neck and neck with, and taking 4 points is huge for our push to make the playoffs here.
That Friday night game, a bit of a slow start again, and then talk about Adam Clendenning's goal. 2 seconds left. You're standing there or on the bench at that point because we were pulled. But what's the reaction like on the bench when he scores that goal? Obviously, with 2 seconds left, you get the equalizer. Now all of a sudden, you've got a new chance.
Yeah, it was one of those games where I thought we played well. We just had some breakdowns that kind of cost us, and then late in the period, we were all over him. And Marty St. Pierre made a big play to knock down a puck that was going in the open net, and then Clendo just pounded it on net, and luckily we it had eyes and it found the back of the net, and then from there, I think we had the momentum, and we were pretty confident at that point that we were going to win the game. And as a goalie perspective, you're just pumped to tie the game, and then you go into a shootout, that's a chance where I really have a chance to win the game for us.
Is it hard for you to refocus after getting pulled from the net? The majority of the time, if a team pulls a goalie, it's either an empty net or the result is a loss. So when they do get that equalizing goal, is it kind of a challenge for you to get right back out on the ice and kind of refocus and start fresh?
Not necessarily. I guess maybe because I'm so excited. You got to kind of calm yourself down again and refocus on the task at hand, because you're headed to overtime, and one shot can lose the game, right? And say we lose that game in overtime. Now the momentum's completely gone going into the next night. But at the same time, now I've got a chance to close the door now for the team. They were able to go and get one back for me, and so it's my job to make sure that we found a way to win it.
Now on Saturday, Carlson got the start. You're on the bench there, backing him up. As a goaltender, what's the mentality like when you're sitting there? You obviously want to stay focused and stay in the game because you never know when you'll get called. But when you're in that position, what's kind of the thought process throughout the game?
You try to maintain. I just kind of stay involved in the game. Paying attention to what's going on. When I'm not playing, I'm a lot loose. I joke around a lot more than when I am playing. Like my preparation, I kind of have the same idea even when I'm not playing, just to be prepared for anything can happen. There's many games where I've been thrown in, and that's part about being a goalie, right? You got to be ready at any time. The guy has a tough night, or somebody gets hurt. You got to be able to get in there and answer the call, and nobody wants to hear why you didn't play well. That's because you were sitting on the bench. You got to be ready to go. So
tough travel on the way back there after the Saturday to Oklahoma City. The flight gets delayed Sunday morning. Take us through that kind of Sunday quick turnaround and an afternoon game coming from Oklahoma City to Chicago.
Yeah, it was a long one. We left, I think, about 5:45 from the hotel, and our flight never, I don't even know, we took off around 10 o'clock. So we sat in the airport. There's guys lying in their suits trying to get some sleep on the floor, and, it wasn't too pretty. But at the same time, it's, once you get to the game, you can sit there and you can complain about the travel. You can complain about this and that. But, we play hockey. We practice hard every single day. You've been in so many different situations. It's just the mental side. You got to block that out and, get ready to play.
Allstate Arena over the last few seasons has been a tough place to play for the IceHogs. Do you find it that way, that to be the case, or is there a certain maybe rink that you don't like playing in?
Allstate's tough arena. I don't think it's necessarily the arena. I think the Chicago Wolves are just a good hockey team, right? They have a lot of veteran guys. They spend a lot of big money on bringing in players, and a team that we can win. Anybody can win any night in this league. I don't know if I have a rink that maybe Peoria, because Peoria doesn't really get a lot of fans, so it's never really that much energy. So you got to and we play them lots on Wednesdays, so sometimes you got to kind of create your own energy, right? There's not really, we're playing at home, and you have, Saturday, Friday nights, it's packed crowd and everyone's going crazy. It's easy to have energy, right? But another rink I think we have a lot of success in personally too is Milwaukee. Same thing. It's a well-lit arena, good ice surface. The fans are get into it there, so that helps. I think just based off the fans, Peoria would probably be the toughest one because they don't really have that kind of energy there. So
you would say Milwaukee playing, I think it's the BMO Harris Bradley Center now. It's an NBA arena, so a little bit bigger, but you get that lighting.
But I feel like they're always, I guess maybe as a goalie, they always have the chants about the goalie and stuff. So that's something that, it keeps you engaged, keeps you, in the ball. And the last thing you want to do is be giving up goals to hear in their crowd chant.
How much are you looking at the Western Conference standings? 4 points right now separate the 6th seed from the 12th seed in the Western Conference. The IceHogs are right in the thick of things, just a few points back of that 8th playoff spot.
Yeah, it's hard not to look, right? This is what we play for. We play to make the playoffs and we play to win championships. But at the same time, it's sometimes guys get caught schedule watching, seeing who's playing who and who beat who. But at the same time, we control our own destiny.
Right.
If we go out and win games and we take care of business on our own, we'll make the playoffs.
On Sunday, you had a franchise high winning streak for a goaltender snapped. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Winning streak, tied for the franchise record all time. How do you kind of what's the key for a goaltender of being consistent? Obviously, you want to be between the pipes every single night, and that'll help. But what's the biggest key for you maybe in your preparation and being consistent and try to just following up one game after another?
I think exactly just my preparation, just week to week, practice to practice. Then at the same time, not overlooking games or not looking too far into the future, right? Like right now we have Chicago coming up on Friday, so you focus on what you need to do to win that game. You focus your first period, what you need to do to get yourself in a good, you work on what you're going to do this week in practice to set yourself up. So you can't really get too far ahead of yourself. You just got to be consistent, working hard and always doing the right things, and that I think is what leads to consistent success.
This team has a lot of firepower up front, a lot of goal-scoring talent by this team. You're seeing Jimmy Hayes now, Jeremy Morin, Brandon Peary, Martin St. Pierre. Guys are racking up the goals. There's a potential for this season for the IceHogs to have 6 20-goal scorers for the first time. Is that kind of help build you confidence as a goaltender, knowing that maybe you don't have to be perfect every night? You don't have to give up 1 or 2 goals, that if you give up 3 or 4, your team still has a chance to win.
Yeah, of course. That's always, especially on the watching some of the guys play, when the other night, Saturday night, Morin and Jimmy Hayes were on fire.
Right.
And I thought that game could have easily been, we won 7-4, it easily could have been 10 or 12. Their goalie made a lot of big saves. And after the first period, we hadn't scored, and they were all frustrated in the dressing room, and I wasn't playing, and I just kept saying, keep at it, we're going to score. This guy just had an unbelievable period. And that's definitely a net, you never want to rely on that, right? You never want to be if you give up a couple goals, be we have a good team, we're going to, my job is to keep the puck out of the net no matter what. Every night I'm trying to get a shutout. That's, how you prepare. And
do you enter games with that mindset?
Of course,
thinking,
yeah.
I do not want to give up a single goal.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's what I do, right? That's just like a guy goes into a game wanting to score goals. I go into a game not want to give up goals. But at the same time, it's definitely a nice comfort factor knowing that we can break out for 5 or 6 goals in a night instead of losing a game 2-1. There's a better chance we're going to win 3-2.
We got a Twitter question from Taylor. She says, if you could play any other position, what would it be, and how good do you think you'd be at it? We had the defenseman Adam Clendenning on the show earlier. So, what if Carter Hutton wasn't a goaltender? He'd be.
Oh, I don't know. Jeez,
it's a good question.
It's got to be a hocky player though. I
right?
can't switch sports.
What are you gonna be, a point guard?
I think I'd probably be a forward.
Okay.
Score some goals, get to celebrate a little bit. I don't get too many moments to celebrate,
Right.
I don't. That's what I always say. I always joke around, when I made a big save, if I went down and did a fist pump or something, get the crowd going a little bit,
Try it out. Why
you
not?
get the odd time after a big shootout win or something, but it's not really my style to celebrate too much. I try to hold it in, but I get pretty excited out there. I definitely have to be like a forward.
Are you a power forward? Are you a sniper? Are you, what kind of
I
forward
think
are
a sniper. I'm kind of a
Obviously.
skill guy.
Yeah,
I don't want to get into the rough stuff.
I mean, you've got about as many assists as some of the other defensemen.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now, right?
Yeah, well, Stancy got his first goal the other night there. So,
we were all very happy.
So we were giving him a hard time. So I said I was almost beating him in points, so he was getting a little worried.
His New Year's resolution was actually to score a goal, and he makes sure to preface in hockey.
Yeah.
So I guess he finally met that goal.
Yeah, he was laughing when he skated by there in Chicago after he scored, and I asked who tipped it, and he got all rattled. But it was great. It was great to see him score. He's a good player.
Another question, this one from Facebook. What are the hardest shots to stop as a goaltender? So he cites like a wrist shot from 10 feet out, a slapper from the point, maybe traffic in front. What's the most difficult task for you as a goaltender? What shot bugs you the most?
Most difficult shot,
breakaway, right?
Yeah, well, breakaway, yeah, tough. But I feel like at this level, anytime you can see the puck and without traffic, it's a fairly reasonable, easy save kind of. Guys can shoot the puck hard. I think the biggest thing where guys do is like where they change like the point of attack with the puck quickly and release it. So you have lots of guys that will skate right down and just shoot right on you, and the puck never changes its direction. So it's always coming at a certain angle. Where like if you watch, like a perfect example I always use would be like a guy like Patrick Sharp. I skate a lot in the summer, and he always, when he pulls it, he changes it from about 2 feet where he shoots from. So now when you're set on the puck, all of a sudden the puck moves from over here and it's coming from a different angle. Right. So now you're not set directly on the puck. And a guy like that, he's a world-class player. And so any player that can do that, like Brandon Peary is a great example. He has that quick release where he shoots off his toe. So you never really get a great chance to pick up where the puck's going. And if you're not very patient, if you want to go down a little bit too early, you get exposed pretty quick up top. So I'd say that's probably the toughest shot is when guys have the quick release off their toe. But other than that, I guess any time that you can see the puck, and battling traffic is probably the biggest issue you deal with in pro hockey.
So positioning, obviously, the number one thing for a goaltender, and if you're not square to the puck or they change that last second, it's obviously a lot tougher for you.
Oh yeah, of course. And then there's different like I'm more of a a reacting goalie, right? So I have to see the puck and be patient and move to where it is and use my hands. Where you have other goalies like say Carlson, who's a bigger guy. He can get away with just dropping down and using his size at 6'6", whatever he is.
Yeah, big.
He makes up an extra 5 inches on the crossbar where I can't. If I go down too early, it's going beside my ear and in.
The pregame routine of a goaltender, I'm not sure how much it varies from any other position skater maybe, but are you still involved in I want a pregame nap every single time? Do you do a different pregame routine if you're starting whether as backing up?
Yeah, well, when I'm backing up, I'm probably a little more loose. I'm not as regimented. But at the same time, like I said earlier, you want to prepare and you want to be ready to go just in case. When I'm playing, I have a pretty strict routine I stick to, and not that if something changes, it doesn't really fluster me. I'm not superstitious by any means too much because, especially like we just said, like on Sunday with the travel, in this league, it's hard to have a consistent routine because we're on the bus lot. Sometimes it's home, so you have to deal with different circumstances. But I kind of, nothing too crazy. I'm a little more quieter when I'm playing, probably in the zone. And then once the game starts, then I kind of loosen up a bit. Once I start playing, and I'm like a little kid sometimes. I still get nervous. I still get excited, even though I've played a lot of games. But
well, they say if you don't get the butterfly, something's wrong with you.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You still have that excitement every night going into the game, and especially in good crowds and stuff like that. You want to perform well.
Are there any kind of quirky or superstitious aspects to your game, maybe as far as your pregame routine or certain things that you make sure to do?
Yeah, there's certain things that I do in a routine where I do it specifically. I know why I'm doing it,
right.
and then certain things change too, right? Like some days I'll, if we had like a little bit of I lost a couple games in a row, maybe I'll switch something up a little bit. But there's like my mainstays, like the stuff I do. Like I drink green tea before every game. That's like a thing I do, and
sure.
Like the certain drinks I have. I usually, if it's a home game, I'll get up and have make myself the same kind of food or eat the same routine. But other than that, it's kind of pretty consistent. Like I come off the ice there. I know you guys talked about it, like throw a kid a puck kind of thing, or just things like that on the ice. In the warm-ups, I always kind of do the same skate over and over. In games, I always skate to the corners. That's just kind of. I feel like those routines just create like a good habits and being a professional of having the same routine. Allows
you to focus a little bit, and at the same time, certain things like maybe throwing a puck to a kid in the stands, maybe get your mind a little bit off the game, kind of take that edge off right before
it is,
a game.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like sometimes it's better to be involved in other stuff too, and talking. Sometimes I would almost have a negative effect if I get too focused. If I just listen to music and focus the whole time and get really, and now you're focused on, you're thinking what's going to happen, and you can't worry about what's going to happen. The rest is going to take care of yourself. you know you're a good hockey player. You just go out there and do your thing.
We asked, or Lauren again on Twitter asked, do you fit the general stereotype that goalies are weird? A little bit. You have to be.
I've heard a lot that I'm the most normal goalie that people have met.
I have heard that as well.
So I don't know. I don't know what that means.
It still means
you can take that.
weird.
You can take that any way you want to. But yeah, I guess I'm a little different. But everybody is, right? Normal's no fun.
Normal is no fun. That's absolutely right. Another one, I guess, we had a lot of social media involvement on this episode of Hog Talk today. Nick from actually works with WIFR wants to know, what's the inside joke between Hutz and St. Pierre on the meow tweet that happened the other day?
Just some stupid joke one night. We were, I don't know. I don't think I could tell that one on the air, but
not
it was
allowed to share that
pretty
one,
funny. He was just joking around there. I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie Super Troopers. That's
of course.
With the right meow.
Right meow.
And I don't know. We were at a restaurant one time and we started saying about the meow, and then he had seen some tweet. I don't know. I think it was Uberfax about meow, and he retweeted it with my name. And so I just sent back meow. And
makes sense. Now on Twitter, you've got the little bio that says Thunder Bay is the Vegas of the North. Now you live and play in Rock Vegas.
Yeah.
You got to be careful with things like that. Now, Thunder Bay, I know, is not the biggest.
Well, you need
city
Vegas.
in the world.
You need a Vegas in every country, right?
I guess that makes sense.
I'm not really criticizing Rock Vegas. I got the best of both worlds. I live in Vegas in the winter and Vegas in the summer.
Describe Thunder Bay. Small town, right?
Well, yeah, 110,000 people.
No, not that small.
Not that small, but it's kind of isolated. It's Thunder Bay. That's it. You drive for a couple hours. You maybe hit a small mill town. That's about it. It has a small feel to it, right? Where majority of people who ever come up to visit me are amazed how many people you know. No matter where you go, you know somebody, you see somebody you know. And in the summertime, it's a great place to be. It's all, cottage country, lakes everywhere, lots of fishing, lots of, water sports. And so it's really enjoyable. And at the same time, it's big enough where you have all your, there's always stuff to do, right? You're not like just locked in on,
sure.
One little movie theater or something like a small town might be. But, it's definitely a place I love and a place I, plan on spending, when I'm done playing hockey.
We'll finish off with a little bit of an offbeat question here for you. I heard a little rumor about, obviously everyone knows the Manti Te'o story, that he got catfished with a fake girlfriend or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I heard that you may or may not have done something similar to someone back in the day. Why don't you tell us that story?
When I was in college, it was my sophomore year. Me and my roommate, we made this one kid on our team used to send out messages to girls.
Okay.
And so you'd meet a girl and she'd always ask about this guy on our team, this John Maniff kid, and we'd be like, and he would message all these girls, just kind of being a creep on Facebook, right? And give everybody a bad name. So we made up a fake girl. I used a girl from my hometown. I'm friends with her photos. Made up a fake name. She went to the school, and for a while we built it up. 2 weeks, we added a ton of friends, so it looked realistic. And then we ended up making an instant messenger account, or AIM. And so we started messaging him, saying how good he played in the game, and it slowly kind of worked up, and we talked to him, and then one night we got him to come outside and meet her. So he thought he was getting picked up to go hang out with this girl, and he came out with his hair all gelled up, and
oh boy,
his nice tarp on it, and the whole team was waiting outside, and we videotaped the whole thing.
Oh man, I've got to see this.
Yeah, it was pretty embarrassing for him, but it was pretty comical. We dressed up one of the rookies as a girl, and sat him in a car outside.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, he came down.
You were the original catfisher.
Yeah. Tiffany Bonder was her name.
Tiffany Bonder.
So there you have it. If you get a friend request from Tiffany Bonder, be careful.
Now I know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Well, Hutz, thanks for your time and best of luck the rest of the year.
Thank you for having me.